Hey, hi, hello everyone. It's your local man Deadbedspread, and I'm feeling fantastically festive. While yes, I do despise the idea of Christmas even being thought about before Halloween, let alone having decorations put up early, once the festive season finally arrives, I am a ho-ho-ho! Why? Well, the end of the year is always a good time to reset, regardless of whether you celebrate any of the numerous holidays or not. It's also a good time to relax, let the shortest day of the year ride on by, and have the days stretch on slightly longer into the new year. It's sometimes even a good opportunity to look back on what you did and didn't accomplish the year before, and set new goals for the year ahead. Obviously, I wanted to do a video creating some Fakemon, but I needed some added flair for a big end of year celebration. Something I've always been fond of here on YouTube is collaboration. 2 or more creators, bashing out ideas, helping each other make entertaining content, while also introducing new audiences to one another. I've always wanted to do more of them with numerous people that I've become a fan of over the years, but I just haven't found the time, nor the ideas to do single individual collabs. So instead of making multiple different videos, why not bring everyone together to celebrate the end of the year and the Fakemon community as a whole? Please join me in welcoming to the channel, friends old and new, all of these wonderful people!
Hi, I'm Bludgeon.
Hey everyone, Ryoma Art here.
Hello everybody, I'm Missy Dupop.
What's cracking everyone? Neck Punch here.
Hello everybody, my name's Tank Runner, thanks for inviting me to the party.
Hey there, Tam Valley Productions here.
After gathering all of our distinguished guests, I provided them with a simple task: design a single Fakemon evolutionary line, anywhere between 1 and 3 Fakemon, using the prompt fantastically festive. The rest was up to them. With all that preamble out of the way, let's see what people got up to. Missy Dupop, you're up.
With the provided prompt of fantastically festive, I knew I had to make a Pokemon that embodied my favorite holiday, Christmas. From the beautiful lights and decorations, to the festive moods shared with loved ones, to all of the amazing winter smells, Christmas really is the best holiday for me. For my family, Christmas has never been much of a religious holiday, but instead a holiday for giving gifts to your loved ones and those in need. It's all about doing your bit to bring a little cheer to the world during the winter season. And you know, no one brings more cheer to the world than the holly jolly man dressed in red himself. Oh, this is a little awkward. No, not you, Deadbedspread. I'm talking about the one and only Santa Claus. No matter what name we know him by, from Father Christmas to Saint Nick to Kris Kingler, most of us know the rosy-cheeked, well-rounded man with a white beard who gives toys and treats to well-behaved children on Christmas. For many families, Santa leaves these gifts under the tree, another part of Christmas that I just love, the decorated trees. At my house, it's a yearly tradition to put up a Christmas tree in the window and decorate it with all of our family ornaments. I even have a little mini Christmas tree in my room where I store all the wrapped gifts I plan on giving my friends. Santa Claus, Christmas trees, and giving gifts. Some of my most favorite things about Christmas time. Now, is it even possible to create a Fakemon that would embody all of my favorite parts of the Christmas spirit like this? You'll have to tell me when I show you Saint Mint. Get it? Saint Mint. Saint Nick. I know, it's great. Saint Mint started as a simple sketch when I was doing some brainstorming, and I knew right away that I needed to try and flesh this design out. The red berries found all over Saint Mint's greenery is meant to resemble ornaments on a tree. I'm really hoping that the berries and snowy branches of the greenery make it really easy to imagine this Fakemon trudging through the snowy forests, holding its giant candy cane and passing out gifts and surprises from its big bag. I included a frosted over and maybe even snowy mustache and beard, just like Santa's white fluffy beard. Its face is made of wood, just like its big wooden belt buckle that reflects Santa's big belt he always seems to be depicted with. And one final detail I'd like to share with you all before I move on to the next entry, the Santa hat-shaped top to this Pokemon.
Saint Mint carries a big red bag filled with toys and berries. When it is impressed with a fellow Pokemon or trainer's actions, it will reward them. Many stories are told about Saint Mint during the winter seasons to encourage young children to be on their best behavior.
It was hard to decide if Saint Mint and its pre-evolution we're about to discuss should be a grass fairy type or a grass ice type, but I eventually settled on the grass fairy. Now, if you know about Santa Claus, then you most likely know about his helpful toy-making elves, too. So what if we created a pre-evolution for Saint Mint that marries the concepts of Santa's elves and tree saplings? Sadly, I couldn't get incorporated a pine cone into this Fakemon design like I'd been hoping for, so I settled on a little Christmas tree sapling instead. Something I did get worked into the design was a peppermint that will evolve right along with this little elf into Saint Mint's candy cane, though this peppermint looks very different by the time this design is done. I wanted this little guy to look a bit more festive-like instead of just being a grass-type Pokemon with a peppermint. So I created an elf hat that went from being a folded over leaf to a tiny Christmas tree. I also added leaves that resemble elf-like ears, but are later turned into wood that match the wooden log face of Saint Mint. I also added berries to the leaf shoes that reminded me of Tinkerbell's little puffs on her shoes. Do you know the ones I'm talking about? I'll put them on screen now. Last but not least, I added one of those lacy neck thingies that will further evolve into Saint Mint's snow beard. Allow me to introduce you to Spraft. I know, interesting name, huh? But it's a running theme over on my channel that I have no idea how to name my Fakemon. Spraft is a combination of the words spruce, craft, and sapling.
Sprafts flock around Saint Mint, helping them create toys and collect berries to store. They will often play and frolic with each other and accompanying Delibirds in their free time.
You know, I love how the simple addition of the berries so seamlessly double as Christmas baubles, alongside the snowy features resembling facial hair. And that's alongside these two being fantastic designs. I also love how you designed the final evolution first. It's a good reminder to us all that sometimes you should approach your problems from different angles.
That's so cute! I want 5!
Was that? Geo also wants 5!
How would you describe a Missy Dupop?
Well, I would describe a Missy Dupop as someone who loves to share her passion for art and storytelling with others. I hope to create videos about my interests, from video games like Pokemon to my favorite TV shows and music. And I've got 4 very loud and inconsiderate dogs.
We love to see it. But we'd better move on quick before all of these good boys end up distracting me.
Hey everyone, it's your favourite Ryoma art here, and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet just released last month, and I'm having an absolute blast, even despite the, you know. Anyways, let's celebrate this new generation of games in the Spanish region and design some festively freezing Fakemon for Paldea. Starting off, this Pokemon is a chicken, being primarily based on the Spanish tradition of Misa de Gallo, where people wake up at the crow of the rooster to gather together and pray. This will be partnered with the basis of a classic Christmas dinner, where poultry, including roast chicken, is popular all over the world for a festive feast. Taking a roasting chicken literally, I'm going with a fire-type Pokemon that is actually covered in flames. That might be a little conceptually morbid for some, but worry not, the little guy is perfectly fine. Well, that's unless you count the second typing, which plays into another inspiration, the Portuguese tradition of consoda, where families will set the table for deceased relatives to be closer to them in the festive season. That's right, it's also a ghost type, playing on the idea of the headless chicken, as well as the general theme of death that the birds seem to harbour. I finish up the design here, basing the body shape on the white face black Spanish chicken breed, but eventually decide it looks a bit unbalanced with that big ass head of its, so I go back in. Final inspiration for this Pokemon is something a bit Japanese. You'll know if you've played Scarlet and Violet that a ton of Paldean Pokemon also take influence from Asian culture. Well, for Christmas dinner in Japan, there's actually a huge demand for, and you'll never guess this one, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Months-long wait lists and everything. It's an incredibly bizarre tradition that fits in really well with this Pokemon. The design I settle on is circular, being shaped like one of KFC's little popcorn chicken bites, with little nugget wings on the side too. It's very sweet. Now, I'd like to introduce Kernello, from Colonel, like Colonel Sanders, Kernel, like corn, because popcorn chicken, the end of cockerel, and Misa de Gallo. The frying Pokemon. Originating from the Paldea region, Kernello are avian spirits that wander city streets on winter nights. It is said to be able to contact the souls of the dead. Local residents will leave out food for this Pokemon when the air is particularly chilly, as legend suggests Kernello will bring them closer with their loved ones. This Pokemon is strangely popular in the Kanto region. Now for the evolution. I started with something resembling a 90s mascot. This sucked, but it helped to lay down the framework. That cloak is supposed to resemble Catholic garb, as I wanted some spiritual inspiration to reference Misa de Gallo. Then it hit me, an angel. Angels are super tied to the Christmas story, and are very spiritual. Perfect. This pose suggests the angel basis the most here, as I added huge wings that let the Pokemon descend from the sky. This is bolstered by the fiery cloud across its neck, but that's there for many reasons. I wanted to have a headless chicken, but didn't want to commit to the full headlessness. Obscuring the neck with the fiery cloud leaves its connection ambiguous, and also almost acts as the spirit of the neck that once was. It also acts as a beard, and helped by the flaming hat, injects some Santa-like charm that makes the Pokemon a little more obviously Christmassy. Your Kernello has evolved into Sorostar, from Seraphim, a type of angel, Rooster, Roast, Star, and Soar, the beacon Pokemon. Descending from the skies on cold winter nights, these Pokemon respond to the calls of humans in need of warmth. Anticipating the harmonious arrival of Sorostar, people have built traditions around the Pokemon, exchanging gifts and preparing feasts in the winter as thanks. It is said that people can see their deceased loved ones in the flames of Sorostar's burning cloud. This Pokemon has a brand new ability called Headless Haunt, which allows the Pokemon to remain on the field for the entire turn, even if it is fainted before it can attack.
I love how you seamlessly blended the Christian, Iberian, Japanese, and Kentucky influences to create something truly unique. The orange flame looks especially good in the black and white colour palette you chose.
Why thank you, Mr. Bedspread. It's great fun researching this type of stuff. You learn so much about places you'd never have interacted with otherwise.
Ryoma, I love the colors you picked so much. And that tie-in of the KFC Christmas dinners in Japan really shows how much thought and research you put into your designs.
This is very much my kind of Fakemon. A headless chicken nugget ghost? Absolutely. Also, watch Gen 10 give us a chicken nugget mon. I am very jealous of the way that you've drawn and rendered the flames too. Beautiful work.
I love the colors on this, and the way you did the fire. So wispy and lava lampy, which makes sense, given the ability.
I've been wondering though, what is a Ryoma art?
Ryoma Art, funnily enough, is my little art channel where I post my Fakemon ideas and speed paints, alongside whatever else I might be interested in the future. I've got a few series in the works, but soon I should be posting a video about making some new Paradox Pokemon. Swing on by once you're done with this one if that interests you.
I'm sure they will. You might even hear my voice over there in a few places, and also that of our next guest, sometime in the future. Speaking of our next guest...
Yeah, great work, team. See you guys after the New Year's. What the? Where the am I? It seems like a strange imitation of my studio. Come on, you couldn't get the colors right? I mean, green is like my thing, not red and green. Oh wait, is this like a holiday-themed crossover video? Where I've been recruited for my ability to create mediocre Fakemon? That's the only logical conclusion, right? Ugh, maybe I've been drinking too much eggnog. Oh well, I have places to be, so let's get out of here. Maybe to escape, I've got to make a holiday-themed Fakemon. Alright, let's get to it. Yeah, so I turned to Hanukkah, the holiday that I celebrated the most growing up as a Jewish kid in California. For me, the winter season has always been more so about the abstract values of family and togetherness, more so than any one winter aesthetic, aside from the beautiful lights of a fully lit menorah, of course. I find Hanukkah very moving not only for personal familial reasons, but also what it represents for the Jewish people. For those who don't know, the legend of Hanukkah states that in a time of great persecution and a siege against their home, a group of Jewish people were able to survive by candlelight that stayed lit for 8 whole days. In other words, a miracle. I love the idea of creating a Pokemon abstractly based off of this miraculous menorah. One who uses light in some way to guide people to safety or to instill a sense of hope or perseverance in them. We can also draw upon other aspects of the religion, such as Elim, which the Hebrew Bible says was a great spring oasis that the Israelites used to camp at during their great exodus in the desert, another example of finding the smallest amount of hope against all odds. So what if we create some kind of desert-dwelling Pokemon who emits light from its body, a gentle creature who leads lost travelers to sources of water as long as they follow its lights? Introducing Dromica, the miracle Pokemon. These gentle giants call the desert home, living hundreds of years each and only emerging in the cold of night to graze peacefully on shrubs and berries at the oases that they call home. The berries they eat contain enough oil to ignite the plasma membranes on their humps, creating a very powerful source of light that illuminates the sands. Few accounts of these Pokemon exist, only from once lost travelers on the brink of death in the desert. Using their strange horns, Dromica can sense if these travelers have hope in their hearts, and if so, will kindly lure them to their oases by gathering in groups and creating a path in the empty sands with their collective lights. These Pokemon have lasting memories, and they will always know the safest path across the desert, using their potent psychic abilities to predict sandstorms and floods before they happen and warning those who they seek to protect the most. And that is all I got. Okay, that should do the trick, right? Ah, you know what? I could get used to this place. Maybe some other lost souls are making some Fakemon of their own. Why don't we just take a little look around?
Welcome to my reality! I love the incorporation of religious tradition, especially in becoming a force for good. This guy almost has legendary vibes with how miraculous it feels. Also, I'm a big fan of how the horns could also be interpreted as being a reindeer. It definitely fooled me, but I feel that the best Pokemon are those that blend influences from all over. So as a single stage, it's definitely a worthy addition to anyone's team.
I love this Mon, and the vibe of peace it gives off is just so much. And I feel like I'm much better educated about the Hanukkah holiday after watching you create this design.
You had me at Blue Desert Fakemon. If I had a chance, I'd add one of these to my team in a heartbeat. I love its energy. It's so good.
With that said, could you explain what a Tam Valley Productions is?
Over on the Tam Valley Productions channel, you can find a wide variety of both Pokemon and Fakemon content, where I will often showcase my theories about the history, science, and culture of the Pokemon world, draw some of my own Fakemon for a variety of projects, and pretty much just make whatever else comes to mind. Come check it out.
All with a smooth voice to boot. That description slightly reminds me of another guest who dabbles in Pokemon theories. I wonder how they got on.
Damn it. Duct tape! Thank you. Damn it. Hide it quick. Hey, what's up? I didn't leave this till the last second. What are you talking about? Hello, I'm Bludgeon. This is my buddy Geo, and we like to tinker with stuff in our workshop. So it's a good thing Deadbedspread gave us someone to work with. It's been a while. Fantastically festive. See, when I got the prompt, I knew right away I wanted to do something for both Christmas and Halloween. I associate the word with Christmas, but I only ever feel it in October. Consider me a Scrooge, I guess. Thank you, Geo. Besides, despite how much time I dedicate to Halloween on my channel, I've never made a Halloween Fakemon. Not a real one. So our fantastically festive Fakemon needed to have a cozy winter theme with a spooky twist. I had a few ideas stemming from a creature with a pouch for a tail that it can use to hide gifts. It's an idea that's sat in my pile of sticky notes for years now. I'm just glad I managed to use it for something, and I'm really lucky I managed to stretch the rules with this one, because after the pouch idea, one thing led to another, and this ended up pretty weird. Submitted for the approval of the Deadbedspread collab, this is my contribution. A little guy. After a couple weeks of trial and error, the pouch tail concept led to the cozy little munchkin that I like to call Hoardle. It carries trinkets inside the pouch on its tail, but mostly is trying to stay warm and wraps the pouch over its head. It was gonna be a fox, but I wanted the evolution to hibernate in winter, and foxes don't do that. I thought maybe a squirrel could do, but Squavid and Greedon already hide stuff in their tails, so if it pleases the court, it's a mixture. It's a fox and a squirrel. It's both, either or. Before I talk about how it evolves, I should introduce Hoardle's counterpart, Mitamic. Mitamic is inspired by my line of work, actually. I know a thing or two about winter clothing and hiking equipment, so not only do I sell replacements regularly, but I also come across a ton of lost hats and gloves when walking through the woods, hanging off trees, stuck on fences, trampled, etc. So I turned the phenomenon into a mimic Pokemon that serves as an evolutionary bridge between my similar Fakemon, Festivine and Bullpit. And this is where the Halloween element comes into play. When Mitamic charges electricity through its body, it lights up to show its hidden eyes and plasma claws. Think of it like that UV face paint that gets spooky under a certain light. Mitamic not only poses as a set of garments, but it also pretends to be nice. It's not. Which leads to the evolution. Through Hoardle and Mitamic's powers combined, they evolve into Slumblebuzz. The grown-up Hoardle hibernates for most of the year, so the Mitamic that joins it in evolving essentially puppets Slumblebuzz around so it can remain mobile despite being asleep. This classes it as a collective Pokemon like Phalanx, but it evolves in the same way as Slowbro, with Mitamic becoming the source of its newfound power. The two could still be separated if push comes to shove, but without Mitamic, it wouldn't be able to battle. Speaking of, Mitamic's electricity does the same UV effect here too, so Slumblebuzz switches from cozy sweater form to monster mash form. Also, something I didn't intend for is the way it almost looks like someone's stuck in their VR headset, which is a trope I see a lot in Christmas commercials these days. I have to give DBS my eternal thanks for letting me do this, because it's a real stretch in what counts as an evolutionary line. Technically, it's 2 lines and you have to squint to see otherwise, but he said,
"Yeah, that's fine. Go for it."
Oh! How long have you been here?
It is my collab, like I've been here the whole time.
Right. Wanna do the interview thingy?
Might as well. Sorry, Gio.
Halloween!
I mean, who am I to gatekeep which holidays make people feel festive? I also love the juxtaposition between the cutesy vibe and the sinister reality between these two. Also, is Slumblebuzz hibernating or in a food coma? Because if the latter, I could probably use a mimic of my own come January.
Okay, first, thank you, but please don't. I'm not responsible for what happens.
Here's me thinking, this isn't that spooky, and then almost doing a spit take when we got to the one Pokemon using another sleeping Pokemon as a puppet thing. But I think it's cool, and I love any Pokemon lines that have intersecting lore. It makes them feel so much more real. This was a great take.
I didn't even think of taking on a Halloween approach to this prompt, and you executed it so well while still embracing a Christmas side of the festiveness too.
Oh, thanks. I was worried since I'm up against all these legends, but it works out.
What exactly is a BP-Bludgeon?
Okay, so over in Bludgeon's workshop, I try to tinker with stuff, namely ideas involving Pokemon, as well as designing my own Fakemon. I like making character-based videos like what you saw with Geo just now, hoping to do a lot more of that, so I'm grateful to anyone who decides to give it a look. If not, hey, I'm happy to be here. Thanks, man.
You're most welcome, glad to have you. Pairing Christmas with an alternate season like Halloween has me wondering, what might some summer-branded festivity look like? Well, I think it's high time we take a trip down under.
Now, whilst for many, the festive season might be a time to cuddle up with a duvet, I live in Australia, and it is absolutely not the case here. Sorry, duvet. Down here, the festive season and summer are one and the same. And no matter what and how you celebrate, one given down here is that at some point in the summer, you are going to a barbecue. So I knew I was going to design a fire-type barbecue Pokemon. Now to flesh it out, I decided on a 3-stage line with the evolution representing the way my relationship to summer and the holidays has changed as I've gotten older. We start with this little guy, Snagger. A sausage dog, since the most common food cooked on the Aussie barbecue is the humble snagger. That's where Snagger's name comes from, by the way, combination of snagger and badger, because apparently sausage dogs are also called badger dogs elsewhere in the world. When I was a kid, summer was all about me. The fun I could have, the joy of not being at school, and of course, Christmas. Now I enjoyed going to church and celebrating the birth of Jesus, but I'll be honest, like most kids, I was most excited about the food and the presents. So I designed this little puppy Pokemon that is all about playing, eating, and unwrapping stuff. It's just a good boy who's there for a good time.
Why does it have 6 legs?
Well, I heard that sausage dogs get all kinds of back problems because their bodies are too long, and I always thought that they could use an extra pair of legs just to support them in the middle there. So consider those my Christmas gift. Now, Slossizzle slows way down once it's evolved. See, as a kid, summer break is a given, but you reach a point in life where that ends. Becoming an adult, working full-time, only getting 4 weeks holidays, and only having them in summer if and when your leave gets approved. I think it makes you value the summer break and festive season all the more. It's less about the presents and the food, and more about enjoying that precious opportunity to slow down and rest. So, Slossizzle are extremely relaxed, and their favorite thing to do is nap. Of course, they still love to eat, and can eat even more than their pre-evo, sometimes eating themselves into a food coma.
Those extra legs have certainly grown. What are you doing to this poor dog?
Well, see, for the final stage, I wanted to capture my current relationship to the festive season. I still love to eat and rest, but since I had kids, there's this extra dynamic where I'm primarily focused on wanting them to have a good time. It means I'm not just eating the food, I'm cooking it. I'm not just opening presents, I'm buying and wrapping them. Now, dogs don't really wrap presents, but you know what does wrap stuff? Spiders! Meet Barbecue. It uses its webbing to wrap Snagger's food into little gifts, and its flaming abdomen ensures that they always have a fun place to play. I imagine rolling around on a barbecue is kind of the fire-type equivalent of a pool party. Now, did it need to be a spider? Well, the other element is that I wanted to put the Snaggers on the Barbie, so I wanted an animal that carries its babies on its back. Many animals do that, including the wolf spider. And what is a dog if not a domesticated wolf? Also, this particular barbecue is, it's a Weber.
Never in my life would I have thought that I'd see a dog spider barbecue. Heck, never in my life would I have thought that I'd say dog spider barbecue. Yet all of the influences marry together into something so bizarrely unique. It's absolutely not what I expected from a festive collab. but I'm so glad it's here nonetheless. Plus, I hope that Snagger is sausage-sized rather than dog-sized, because that would end up making barbecue absolutely gargantuan. I'm sure they're a good boy regardless.
These Pokemon feel perfect for an Australian Christmas. One thing I know about you guys is that you have some horrifying multi-legged critters in your own backyards, and this seems like the perfect representation of that.
Okay, I knew to expect your patented morbid factor, yet you blow it at the park every time.
This is the kind of design I didn't know I needed in my life. The little detail of the grill marks as stripes is just amazing, and it was so interesting to learn what the festive times are like across the Pacific.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying this is something Game Freak would ever do, but for me, that's kind of the point of Fakemon.
What in the world is a neck punch?
Well, my YouTube channel is all about Fakemon. I'm creating a fan game called Pokemon Amber, which is set in a region based on prehistoric Earth. And on my YouTube channel, we take an in-depth look at the stories, the concepts, the design process, and the final artwork of all the Fakemon that I've created for that region. I've got just over 200 Fakemon showcased on the channel so far, with no sign of stopping anytime soon.
I love the ambition. Speaking of, let's take a look at what Tank Runner got up to. Collaboration of the century. 7 YouTubers, 1 video, only a few of them are traditionally attractive. Going live on my channel on whatever today is, right now, it's happening. It's fuck you.
Shit, I totally forgot about this.
Speaking of, let's take a look at what Tank Runner got up to.
Okay, don't panic. So you messed up. You absent-mindedly destroyed a collaboration months in the making because you're a homeless lunatic who breaks into people's homes and drinks all their liquor. Dead's a pretty chill guy. You just call him, explain what happened, and he'll totally understand. What the fuck? Oh my god!
Tank? Where are you?
Yeah, hey, shut up. I have nothing for the video.
It's literally happening right now.
Don't you think I know that? What did you do for your segment?
Are you seriously trying to steal my idea right now?
Fuck! Fine. I'll give you half credit. But if Game Freak wants to buy it off of me, you can go fuck yourself.
I'm hanging up.
No, wait! Fuck!
Oh no.
We're inside my brain.
Around at the speed of sound. I like corn dogs. That's Sonic.
Yeah, now I'm like a go-go dancer. This is,
Why do we keep talking about horses?
We haven't talked about horses in this video.
I'm gonna say.
Sorry about your dad.
Yes, no, this is excellent. I have to say, it really hit the spot. Is that almond milk? Yeah, sorry, that's all we had in the fridge. Oh, no, don't even worry about it. This is perfect. Thank you so much. How much time do I got? Perfect. That's like 3 times more than I need.
Oh, judgment is nigh, for der Bellschnickel ist I.
Yes, he is finally nigh.
I am nigh.
It's my favorite part of Christmas, the authority.
And the fear.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, Grandma's a good Pokemon to raise for first time trainer, especially good with children. I know for sneaker and I look for gifts their owner. When a cover falls in the fridge gas, they have to live for the trainer stress a bit differently. Instead of searching gifts for the trainer, they're not tracked down to see start their own totally and parse nightmares into the mind of sleep. Okay, I mean, I do love the idea of a creature that evolves from giving gifts to giving nightmares. I'm also a fan of its grass type changing to ice as all of its foliage dies off. Also those shinies.
These designs are such a good reminder of the double-edged sword of these festive times. Sure, things are typically holly and jolly, but the holidays can be a dark time for some, so make sure to check in on your loved ones.
I'm starting to think that creepy, foreboding winter specters are my new favorite aesthetic. Sorry, still thinking about everything that just happened.
How would one describe a tank runner?
All right, here we go. No script. going straight off the cuff, I'm going to be completely 100% honest with you. Of all of the people who are taking part in this collab, I am easily, by far, the least consistent. Going forward, any one piece of my content is not going to be anything like the rest of my content, because I have absolutely no idea what I am doing. I can guarantee absolutely nothing about my channel, except for one thing. My shit is going to be funny, my shit is going to be unique, and regardless of why you decide to check out my content or why you decide to subscribe, I will continue to make content that is interesting. It might not always be the same stuff that you're looking for, but it will absolutely grab your attention. Regardless of how easy or thrown together my stuff might look, I am constantly busting my ass to be as entertaining as possible. So if that sounds good to you, I'd really appreciate it if you would head over to the Tank Runner channel, check out some of my stuff. And I am hoping that at least some of you will not be disappointed.
I can personally guarantee you that disappointed is the last thing you will be. Next up, we have, where my Missy Valley bloody neck tag? Oh, it's me! Well, I've really been looking forward to this, so why don't I get showing you my
Happy Holidays! What? You wanted to have a big collab and didn't think that I'd be invited? The holiday season is a time for all, even demons. Despite generally being a time of celebration, there's nothing more evil than the constant, repeating, never-ending, incessant, ceaseless, infinite barrage of Christmas music. Christmas cannot only just be beginning for the past 50 years, Slade! Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is probably the earliest Christmas song that we're exposed to. That's also easy to remember, cause it's a goddamn jam. He had a very shiny nose. So how about a little tiny calf with a body resembling a reindeer pulling a sleigh, topped off with a big red nose? It doesn't glow quite yet, but we do want the design to feel festive. So, the name Rudolph originates from old Germany, and would you believe that so did the practice of putting lights on Christmas trees? They were candles though, so this little guy is candle antlers. Candlers. No, those are just people who make candles. Anyway, old Germany. The past. Why don't we incorporate the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future into this line? And no, just because it has candles doesn't mean it's a fire type. Thank you, Grievert, for opening my pillow eyes to the possibilities. It's even got a ghostly little cloud scarf to keep it warm. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudler join in any reindeer games. It's very sad. The middle stage, Angstier, is tormented by its newfound, uncontrolled, ghostly energy, taking the form of several malicious reindeer heads. Its confidence is shattered, its nose not glowing anymore, because all of the other reindeer are all goddamn bullies. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Vomit, Stupid, Herder, and Schitzen. Its front legs have become almost vestigial, and its candle antlers have evolved into those old-timey spherical Christmas lights. A glimmer of hope, which ultimately proves to shine brighter than all. Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then all the reindeer loved him, because he's the most powerful reindeer around. That's right, to the power of festivity, their once tormentors now succumb to their power and fit uniformly into their own body. Heck, their ex-bullies are now used to support them, acting as their new front legs, boasting a big white beard and a splendidly shining snoot. Their antlers now adorn multicolored, modern-day LED-style spurs, boasted by its slick, smooth, futuristic exterior. I mean, some Pokemon are literally robots now. This ain't a stretch at all. Reindeer was once thought to travel at incomprehensible speed, but is now thought to use its ghostly powers to teleport at will. They can occasionally be found ferrying wild Delibird.
Whoa, Dread, I really like the story you told of these guys. It almost strikes me as a legendary line. Or maybe even Ultra Beasts from a festive winter dimension.
Okay, I think, no offense Deadbedspread, this must be my new favorite Fakemon that you've ever done. I'm a sucker for purple and gold. I love it.
Can we all take a moment to appreciate how those candle antlers evolve right alongside this Fakemon? That is so genius. The inclusion of Santa's sleigh, Rudolph's story, and the three ghosts of Christmas spirit is executed in such a way that doesn't overwhelm my one brain cell. And it just all works together so well.
So tell me, what is a Deadbedspread?
I'm you.
Oh yeah, whoops. Thank you all for checking this out, and a massive thank you to all of these amazing artists for their awesome contributions. Be sure to show your support by checking out all the links to their channels in the description. Leave a comment on which Fakemon was your favourite. I hope that you all have a wonderful end of the year, and with all that said...
This is Missy Dupop signing off. I'll see you guys next time.
Ciao for now, everyone.
Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time for more content.
Thanks for stopping by, everyone.
Thanks so much for having me. Until next time, my name is Neckpunch. Have a good one.
Thank you for watching all the way to the end of my bullshit. I really appreciate it, and I'll check you on the next one.
Happy holidays!
I've been DBS, and all the best.
We've been DBS, and all the best.
What? When did you guys fucking rehearse this? What the fuck is this?